Siemasz! It's Polish Explorer here in this beautiful sunny morning in the mid of April. We are in Ilfracombe. We are in Ropery Beach, and over the last 17-18 years I was always wondering where is that footpath going up on Hillsborough, and yeah, I think it's finally a good time to check and see where it actually goes. So that's what we're gonna do today. Later I'm gonna show you some special place. We've been there already before, but today we got very high low tide. It's 3 meters, and I wanna check one thing I was telling you about, if that works or not. But before we go there, let's see how that footpath is taking us up the Hillsborough. Enjoy a 360 view of everything, so you can just spin around the picture, or you can turn yourself if you're watching on the phone, and that should give you a really beautiful 360 experience. Well, basically you can see everything I see around myself. It used to be a nice and beautiful beach, probably with the shop down there. Not anymore, like majority of stuff in here. Once the ocean damaged something, they don't bother to restore it, but still it's quite a good place. I know a lot of people living in Ilfracombe. They still coming here with kids in the summer during nice weather to swim, take a sun bath and all that kind of stuff. Oh, steps are actually very well made steps, not the ones carved in a rock or just created with the pieces of wood stuck into the footpath. And I can already see that is gonna be a climb. Okay. What probably used to be a viewpoint is not one anymore. The sun is still very low. It's only April, and I hope it won't prevent you from seeing everything around. It's not, I hope it's not too sharp. Oh, let me see what we got in here. Wow! Do you see those two planes? Wow! Is that like a red arrows training? That was a nice. Well, they just disappeared behind the tree. You probably can't see it anymore. Right. Okay. All right. I know pretty much where we are. What you can see right now is that second cove. This is the second cove still accessible from Rookery Beach during the low tide, and deep in a corner is a hidden passage to another tiny little bit. You can watch everything on my videos, it's all there. You just need to find it. But that is a beautiful viewpoint and beautiful point to fly a drone from. Okay, let's carry on up the hill. Footpath, coast path. Should we take a coast path or should we take a footpath? Let's check the footpath. Will be more interesting because it looks wild. And that feels like a shortcut to our first destination, which is the top of the Hillsborough. I don't have a lot of chance to walk in here. Usually I get up here on my e-bike, so this is definitely a new to me. Alright, here we come into the another crossroad. Coast path, public footpath. Alright, so I don't understand, was that the part of somebody's land that we allowed to walk on a footpath or not? Anyway, we are back on a path, proper coast path. I get it probably just diverts, because you can make a shortcut to hill if you walk the southwest coast path, and there is like a little shelter you can see from Ilfracombe, but we carry on straight. I honestly have never been here. Hillsborough Hillford. Yeah, you probably know from my previous videos, there used to be a fort on the top of the Hillsborough, which was pretty much like typical place for ancient people to settle in. It was nicely covered. Half of the circle is nicely covered by cliffs and ocean, so no one can get around. And yeah, only part left to defend is what's left in front, facing the Ilfracombe. And yeah, there were some earthworks going on, and they discover indeed this was, if I could remember, a wooden fort where people settled, probably the first people in Ilfracombe. Alright, the footpath goes there, but we are back in more wild environment. I guess by now we must be probably somewhere above the window cave you can see across the water from Ilfracombe harbour. That's of course if you know where to look for it. It's not so obvious if you don't know it's there. Those of you who doesn't know the window cave, I would recommend my Scrambling the Rock Hillsborough challenge, or Around the Hillsborough challenge, whatever the title, I don't remember, but you can see that cave in one of those videos. There is a number of them I made, and right in the middle of the hill we can take a break and have something to drink. View of Ilfracombe, not the best one yet. In order to have a nice full view, you need to go all the way up. If I can attach that camera. Alright, let me see what we got in there. I hope it won't blast. Oh, that's what I was expecting. We're not so far from the top, because I can see another shelter on the side in there. If you, well, you're gonna have a better look in a second when I climb up. So let's just do it. Wow, we were still quite a lot of water here and mud. The slope is, well, it's quite decent. Quite a nice experience for a downhill bike. Oh, now you can see on my right and on your left, if you watch me, the second shelter. I don't actually know which that one is for, because it's pretty much nothing you can admire from it, just the grass. And we are almost at the top of the fort. What you can see there, right in front of me, and if you watch me then behind you, that was a back of the fort. Basically. And we are almost at the top. This is usually the path I take on my e-bike, but also on normal bike. It's nice and easy to get up here. It's not like super difficult. And we got a way better view of Ilfracombe now and the harbour. I mean, look at that. But that's still not the best view, because we are going to the place with the best view right now. You cannot see a lot of hill on the other side because of the curvature of slope, and obviously a lot of trees And right now, if we take that path, that very, very tiny path, this one takes us straight to the viewpoint, the very top one. That is the first, but that's not the end yet. If you ever come here, this is not the end. And here we got a little board that shows what you can see in here. The most interesting things are peregrine falcons. And yes, indeed, down in that cove, I've been flying my drone, and on many occasions the peregrines that live on those hills and hunt on that hills just come down to check what the drone is, if it's something worth to hunt or not. So yes, you got peregrines definitely in here. Hello.
Good morning.
And this is a spot you probably know from my previous videos, but you can see it in 360 first time. The best view of Ilfracombe Harbour from here, and you can even see Lundy Island today and part of Wales. And down there, we will probably go down there. There is a disused footpath going to that beach, which is now closed and inaccessible. You can watch that in one of my videos about abandoned beaches in Ilfracombe. And I try to show you, you can still walk a little bit down that foot, about halfway down, until the steps cut because of the landslide. This footpath takes you all the way down to Hill Bay Beach, but on the way to Hill we got at least two places I want to show you. The very first one is right ahead of us, and it is another slightly lower viewpoint. So that is the second viewpoint, and from here you can already see a little bit of hill as well, and you can also see the Coast Guard cottages and yeah, inaccessible beaches that used to have access in old times. And that beach right below us, it used to have access long time ago, and that is the one we're going to go down disused footpath. You can still go halfway down, and you're gonna see first time in 360 how it actually looks like. I guess 360 will give better impression. So let's find the way to those steps. You can see the slope is quite nice in here. Quite wild. and there is pretty much no trees or anything that would prevent that hill from going down. So I guess at some point that footpath will also disappear. As everything on the coastline here. Oh, nice zigzag. Okay, so we are about 5 or 6 turns down, and you're coming to this point. The way goes down to hill, but here is very interesting point. During the Second World War there was a cannon guarding the coastline located in this place, and I can imagine from the information I got from other YouTuber, all those remains of buildings, that must be a storage for the charges or whatever you call it, not bullets, doesn't matter, where artillery charges and projectiles, whatever system they used in that time. So yeah, you can still see the remains of buildings, at least the walls. And the cannon was actually located, if I could remember, it must be located maybe here, or maybe lower, a bit lower, I think. Yes. And right now we are just in front. Yeah, the cannon was located a bit lower down there, and right now we are just above that disused footpath. We need to find a way in there. This is the part of the footpath obviously they don't want you to go, that's why they cross it over. And that also goes to one more place, which is also a target of today's trip. But first, let's see that amazing steps, or rather what remained of that steps. It's quite muddy today, so I hope it won't end up in disaster. Although if it will be more interesting video, you know. Okay, this is how we do it. And yeah, here starts very slopey, and you have to have a really nice grippy shoes. Everything is covered in mud. You can still see the posts remained after the rail, but obviously the rail is not in place anymore. And oh dear, there is a new landslide. Wawa. Oh my god, look, do you see what happened last winter? The very fresh landslide. I used to go down for another about 10-20 meters all the way down to that grassy bit sticking out. No, it collapsed. Wawa, we are in a sliding zone. You see how everything changes every year. Oh my god. So yeah, my video may be one of the last videos made on that halfway down on those steps. Wow, this is a very good example how everything changes on a coastline within your lifetime. That is crazy. I mean, this is a wake-up call, really. And here is not a greater. You never know when that part goes down. Okay, so that was interesting. We discovered something new. See, it's always worth to come back to the same spots. There is always something interesting. You may fall down, break your neck, and it's already new video. Okay, now we're going to the second place because I want to test my theory. One of the previous videos I did tell you that if you go down to the arch in hill and you walk from hillside and the water cuts you off, you still got an alternative footpath that takes you up. And today, with such a high tide, with such a high low tide, we're going to see if my theory works and you can indeed escape through that footpath. There will be some nice views. Some of you know that place, some of you know it from my previous videos. Obviously it's disused, so it's a bit tricky to walk. All kind of brambles and trees trying to stop you from walking here. Whew. I hope this one didn't collapse. At least we really got a lot of rain this year, and I guess that would contribute to that collapse in there. Okay, that's another shelter for something that has connection with artillery. And here we are, that little shelf, exactly where the guns of Navarone were located. You can still see a part of rail, and if you look closely down, that's where the arch is. We are directly above the arch. The remains of rails you can still find down there. Oh, I can even see the circular piece of concrete with the rail in it. And let's go down. Let's try to figure out how much of this footpath remained after the winter. Some wild brambles from last year. Have to be very careful. It's nothing to catch, just in a case. And it's always different story to walk down than it is to walk up. the time is 11:30, which is pretty much 2 hours and 15 minutes after the low tide. So the water is already going up. It's not so easy. That brambles everywhere. That one bit is not so easy to walk, but if you're very careful, you can do it. Okay, here we are, all the way down. It's just this one bit, really crazy. Whoa! And here we are, and look at that. Oh, the crab up here. I guess that's what the seagulls must carry it up. And you see, if you remember from my video, at some point when you walk from the hill, you have to come and climb this way. Only on very few occasions the water is low enough so you can walk on the other side of that rock below. But this is exactly the secret footpath that can save you all the hassle if you know where to find it. Only problem is this is like a step in here which you can have to find in order not to go down. Yep. All right. It's always, like I said, it's always difficult to go down. It's always that one bit. It's always slimy. You have to be careful in here. Although today with that sharp sun is nicely dried, which not happened a lot of times, which is nice. And you see, this is like a platform, really nice platform, providing access into the arch. Ha. Let me see if anything happened to the arch this year. Oh no, not yet. Still stays in place. That big bit went down last year. Oh, look at that. We got now an arch within an arch. Can you see that? Tiny archy. Oh, sorry. That's a future king Archie. Look at that. Arch containing tiny Archie. Okay, we got a beautiful sun today. I hope it won't affect the movie too much. It is much different today with the high water than it normally is. That is the outer part of the rock, arch, sorry. I really like that place. We could attempt a quick walk to the window cave, or we couldn't. Well, let's see, since we're here already, let me see. The water is already above about 4 meters, I would say. So it's already going up. I'm pretty sure it does. So let's see how that actually looks like during the very high low tides. Oh yeah, you can see it can cut you off pretty quick. Wow, wow, wee, wow. It's not yet completely cut. You could still probably go around that rock. And yeah, well, I don't know how quick it's gonna go up, so I don't wanna risk my wet foot. But we could go and actually see that landslide from the other side, but perhaps not today. Enjoy that. This is actually like a beautiful lagoon. If you could access here normally on foot, that would be just beautiful place to stop. Ah. But yeah, it's beautiful. I mean, you know, the more you wait in here, the more you're surrounded by the water, the more beautiful that impression is. I mean, to be honest, I don't know how much the water comes up today, but if it's a 3 meter low tide, then it should be about 7 meter, maybe 7 something high tide. That means it may not close at all. That arch maybe, or maybe not. No, I think that was the highest level today. So yeah, you still can be cut off, but this is pretty much like the safe way of escaping, because even if you cut off by the water, and here the water will be maybe that level, I reckon. So yeah, you can still escape up on the rocks and home, off you go. And again the steppy bit, I hate that bit. It's like the first time going down here, it's like a crazy what to do with my camera. Uh-oh, come on baby, lie down. Okay. So, since we are already here, let's check on the other side. Oh, this is like slightly different as well. I think there was more material in here. It wasn't like sort of like climb up in here before. I mean, the recent storm may just wash away all the tiny and small rock bits. You see, it starts closing already on that side. That is another little cove you could survive. Yeah, you couldn't attempt to climb up really, but you could easily survive on the rocks. Wow, wow, wow. Every second water comes up. All the passages start closing. Come on, quick! Let me see if the hill bay is still accessible, because if not, we have to come back. Oh, it rather is. Five minutes can make a difference here, but I don't think 3 minutes will. Oh. Okay, now the last problem will be just that stream. You see, the water is already flowing in through that stream here. And the stream still carries a lot of water after this rain, so it's not easily jumpable, if I can use that word. Oh. And this is the end. Okay, so for some reason my camera was off. What happened? I was trying to build myself a tiny like feet something to put my feet right in the middle of the river and jump across, and I did. I got a successful, beautiful bridge, and while I jump I just put my foot back into the water. So now I'm like I don't know, like Terminator with one wet foot and one normal, just like Terminator was with his face. Anyway, we back, we safe. I'm pretty sure we could still go back there and still climb up, but well, it's not a point anymore. I mean, you can see it's going, the water is going pretty quick up. I show you just this one bit. When we were passing here, maybe 5 minutes ago, the water was flowing, slowly flowing into that river. Right now you can see it's another 5-6 meters up, and it's already flooding into that ravine in the rocks. So yeah, it is going pretty quick. Probably the other jump down there, it's probably by now a big jump to make, not just little jumping over the rocks. But yeah, my theory works. This place is possible to escape during the high tide, even if you cut off. So basically that was the last target of today's trip, and you got beautiful view on surrounding area. in 360. I hope you enjoyed that, because we are back on a Hill Bay beach, which is pretty much the end of our trip. So I will see you on another exploration. Don't forget to subscribe, and high five!